My beloved child, stop and listen, because today is the day I decide to intervene clearly and definitively in your life. I know the weight that has been crushing your heart. I know the problem that has stolen your sleep and the anguish that has been robbing your peace. Listen carefully, because I, the Lord, promise you at this very moment, that which has been a giant before you, that which seemed impossible to overcome, will be resolved by my mighty hand. I rise to break the chains that were holding you, and I announce that this is the time of your deliverance. It is not by chance that you are before this word. It is a direct call from heaven to align your spirit with the eternal purpose that was already written before the world was formed. I tell you with authority, I chose you. I knew you before your name was ever spoken on the earth. I wrote your story when not a single day of life yet existed, and what to many seemed like forgetfulness was only part of my plan, so that today you would understand that nothing was by chance. No tear that fell from your face went unrecorded. No cry for help was in vain. I was there, silent to your eyes, but active on my throne, shaping your future with precision. The delay that wounded you so deeply was not a sign of my absence, but of my preservation. I hid you in moments when you wanted to appear, because I knew the time was not yet favorable. I kept you silent in hours when you wanted answers, because I knew a premature answer would make you lose what I prepared. Listen, beloved child, I am the one who sees beyond. While you wept, thinking that everything was lost, I was writing new chapters for your story. The silence that wounded you was in truth my sacred silence, because I was building in you a strength that even you did not know you possessed. You were wounded by rejections, discredited by human words, marked by doors that closed before you. But I tell you today, each rejection was protection, each closed door was preservation, each delay was alignment with my perfect time. I saw when they mocked you, when they said you would not make it. I heard the voices that tried to erase the value I placed in you, but I want you to know, nothing they said can nullify what I have already decreed over your life. I have marked you with an eternal seal, and that seal cannot be erased by human hands. Even when you felt forgotten, I was recording every secret act of faithfulness, every seed sown, every gesture of love done in silence. I, the Lord, record in heaven what no one saw on the earth. Do not dare to believe that your life is handed over to chance. You were chosen for this moment, and today I awaken you to understand that what is before you is not an unbearable burden, but the starting point for the revelation of my power. You were not called to be merely a survivor, but to be a living testimony of my glory. The enemy tried to convince you that you were ordinary, tried to place on you labels of failure, incapacity, and mediocrity. But I now tear off those labels, and I declare you are marked by heaven. The delay you did not understand was the strategy so that when the right time arrived, your victory would be complete and irreversible. If I had given you earlier what you asked, you would not have been prepared to sustain it. If I had opened the doors before the time, you would not have been firm to remain. But now I say, it is the moment. I am releasing answers that were held back. I am unlocking paths that were blocked. I am manifesting what your eyes so longed to see. My child, I know your heart. I know the times you thought of giving up. I know the times you bent your knees and cried out in secret, asking, Lord, have you forgotten me? Today, I tell you with love and authority, I never forgot you. I was with you in the valley. I was present in the fire. I walked beside you in the turbulent waters. If you have come this far, it was not by your strength, but by my hand that sustained you. Now, open your spiritual ears, because I reveal to you, nothing you lived was loss. Each tear watered a seed. Each pain produced authority in you. Each silence brought you maturity. I was preparing you for something greater than what you asked. The delays were in truth the building of a stage where my glory will be made evident. You will not be remembered for what you suffered, but for what you will overcome. This is the moment of your choice, to believe you have been marked or to remain bound to the enemy's lies. Today I tell you, rise, shake off the dust of unbelief. Break with the thoughts that diminish you. I have already decreed over you victory, advancement, and acceleration. The heavens are aligned with your life in this instant, and there is no human or spiritual power that can prevent what has already been written in my book concerning you. Receive this word as a seal upon your heart. You are chosen, you are loved, you are guarded. Walk with the certainty that I, the Lord, am with you, and I will never abandon you. Do not fear the days to come, because I am already in them, preparing deliverance and provision. This is the time to see my favor manifest in an extraordinary way. I called you, I set you apart, I marked you. Today I declare that your time of shame has ended, and the time of honor begins. You were chosen to carry my glory, and that which seemed impossible is already being resolved by my hand. I am your God, and I fulfill what I promise. Have you noticed how many times they tried to extinguish the flame I placed inside you? There were forces that rose up against your destiny, voices that echoed lies about who you are, trying to convince your heart that you were not capable, that you had no value, that you would never reach what I planned for you. But I, the Lord, declare with authority, every word hurled to wound your spirit now loses its power. Every uprising that rose against your life is undone. No weapon that was prepared against you will succeed, because I myself have clothed you with power, and the enemy cannot touch what I have sealed with my spirit. How many times did you feel you were surrounded, as if a wall of impossibilities stood before you? How many times did you believe you could not break through, because the circumstances shouted louder than your hope? But know that while you thought you were cornered, I was already opening an invisible way. I'm the one who opens a passage in the middle of the sea and who turns deserts into gardens. I am the one who disarms giants with a stone and who makes walls fall before a cry. I do the same with your life. I bring down the giants that mocked you. I lay low walls that seemed insurmountable, and I make you walk in territories that were once denied to you. Many tried to limit your value and imprison your identity with labels of failure, incapacity, rejection. But listen to what I tell you. Your identity was not shaped by the rejection of men, but by the election of heaven. I called you from the womb, formed you with my own hands, and breathed into you the essence of life. No human label has power over what I established. You are not what they said. You are not what they tried to put on you. You are what I decreed, loved, chosen, set apart to carry my presence. I know every night when you believed you would not endure. I know the silent battles you fought when no one else could see. I know the pain you hid behind a smile and the anguish you tried to disguise so as not to worry those you love. I saw when you thought of giving up, when you believed it was the end, but it was precisely in those moments that I was closest, sustaining you when there was no strength left, carrying you in my arms when it seemed there was no ground to stand on. If today you are standing, it is because my hand did not allow you to be destroyed. The enemy plotted against your life, but he could not touch you beyond what I allowed. There were spiritual conspiracies to hinder your advance. There were flaming darts launched against your mind, trying to convince you that you were too small for the dreams I placed inside you. But I, the Lord, say, no conspiracy can prevail over my decrees. What I wrote cannot be erased. What I released cannot be blocked. If before it seemed that darkness was winning, today I declare that the light of my glory invades every area of your life, dispelling every shadow, unmasking every lie, undoing every contrary work. I myself strengthen you now. The flame they tried to extinguish burns again with greater intensity. The voice they tried to silence is restored to proclaim my word. The heart they tried to wound is healed by my hands. I remove the weight of oppression. I remove accusation. I remove shame, because my honor rests upon you. What they tried to use to shame you will become the stage of your exaltation. What was used to humiliate you will be turned into a testimony of my glory. There are situations that seem to have no way out, but I have already drawn a path of victory. There are battles that seemed beyond your capacity, but I have already clothed you with heavenly armor. You do not walk alone, because my angels are around you, guarding your coming in and your going out, protecting your family, surrounding your house. Every hidden plan prepared against you is now being exposed, and every intent of the enemy falls to the ground before my authority. I not only defend you, I also prepare you. Every adversity you faced was not a waste, but training. I used the struggles to refine you, the deserts to teach you, the trials to mature you. Today you carry a strength you did not have before, a vision you did not understand before, an authority that could only be forged in the fire of adversities. The enemy tried to destroy you, but he did not realize he was only contributing to you being strengthened. Listen, you are not fragile as the enemy tried to convince you. You are clothed with my presence. You are not a defeated one. You are a warrior marked by heaven. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are an heir of the promises. The enemy fears what you carry because he knows the anointing I poured over you breaks chains and sets captives free. You are unstoppable when you walk under my word. You are untouchable when you move under my protection. Therefore, rise without fear. Look to the future not as someone who fears what will come, but as someone who knows victory has already been decreed. Do not look at obstacles as barriers anymore, but as steps that bring you closer to the fulfillment of the promise. Do not allow yourself to be paralyzed by contrary voices, because the only voice that defines your destiny is mine. And I have already said, you are mine, you are loved, you are chosen. I tell you, the conspiracy against you has ended. The chains have been broken. The sentence has been cancelled. From today on, you will walk with the conviction that no power in this world can stop what I have already released over your life. I am your stronghold. I am your shield. I am your present help in trouble. The enemy planned your fall, but I prepared your ascent. Nothing and no one can stop what is about to happen, because I myself go before you and fight your battles. And when you look back, you will see that every adversity you faced turned into a testimony of my faithfulness. You will see that no tear was in vain, no cry was ignored, no struggle was wasted. Everything worked together so that today you would rise not only as a survivor, but as a victor. Walk in peace, because I have already overcome for you, and in my victory is your victory. I have already released a wave of supernatural breakthroughs over your life, and nothing will be able to stop what I have already determined concerning you. Doors that once seemed locked will now open before you, and opportunities that seemed unreachable will present themselves as answers to your prayers. It will not be by human effort nor by the strength of your arms, but by the manifestation of my grace that unexpected resources will reach you. I myself command provisions to come to you from places you did not imagine, because when I decide to bless, no financial limitation, no contrary word, and no structure of the enemy can withstand my decree. The virtue of healing is already flowing over your body at this moment. I'm visiting your health in a supernatural way, restoring what was corroded by time, reversing diagnoses that doctors declared to be irreversible. I am renewing cells, bones, blood, and mind. Where there was pain, I place relief. Where there was illness, I place vigor. Where there were signs of weakness, I restore your youth like the eagles. No disease will have power to consume your life, because upon you rests the breath of life that proceeds from my throne. Just as I care for your health, I also restore the relational areas of your story. Relationships that were wounded by misunderstandings, betrayals, or distances will be touched by my hand. I am the God of reconciliation, and I cause forgiveness to sprout where there was resentment and understanding where there was division. I will bring divine connections that will add to your purpose. New people will come to you, sent by me, to walk with you, open doors, and accelerate the plans I traced for your journey. I myself remove alliances that drained your strength and connect you with those who will carry with you the weight of the vision I gave you. I know of the time you believed you had lost. I know of the opportunities that seemed to have slipped away, of the years judged wasted, of the dreams you believed had no more chance to be fulfilled. But today I declare, the lost time will be multiplied. What should have taken years will happen in months, and what seemed to take months will be resolved in weeks. I accelerate processes, I move hearts, I set favor before you so that you may realize that you do not walk under a human calendar, but under my perfect time. I have already prepared encounters that will change your trajectory. An unexpected call, a message of good news, a contract that seemed impossible. All of this is already aligned in my plan. I move the pieces as a potter molds the clay, and everything adjusts so that you may see that your life does not unfold by chance. I am the God who organizes the invisible, who moves heaven and earth to fulfill what I promised. Nothing will be as before, because I am establishing a new cycle, a season in which the harvest will be greater than everything you have already sown. Also, over your finances, I stretch out my hand. That burden of debts that took your sleep and the concern for your house's future are being removed. I bring provision, I send answers, I make transfers of resources, because I am the owner of the gold and the silver, and nothing is lacking to those who trust in me. You will no longer live off crumbs, but you will experience the abundance of my favor. I teach you to be a faithful steward, and in your faithfulness I open the windows of heaven to pour out blessing without measure. Not only your health, relationships, and finances are being visited, but also your career and your projects. What seemed stagnant will gain movement. I breathe upon your talents. I expand your creativity. I inspire your mind so that extraordinary solutions may flow from you. I set before you people who will give you access to places where you never thought you would be. There will be promotions, unexpected invitations, doors opened in environments that before seemed unreachable. I myself go before you, making room so that you may perceive that every ability I placed in you will now be used to glorify my name. Understand, this is not only about temporal blessings, but about a spiritual legacy. Everything I am releasing over you points to a greater purpose, which is to reveal my glory through your life. You will be a living testimony that I transform stories, that I restore destinies, that I am faithful in all my promises. Every area that was once a reason for shame will be turned into a platform of testimony, and many will see what I did in you and will turn to me. I also declare a time of spiritual acceleration. Your gifts will be activated intensely. Your sensitivity to my voice will be increased, and your prayer will have an impact you did not yet know. I place upon you a new authority, and the enemy will not be able to resist what I will release through your life. The same mouth that cried out for help will now proclaim victory. The same heart that felt small will now beat with confidence. The same spirit that was weary will now rise with boldness. Therefore, do not look at what is around you as one who doubts, but as one who already sees the change underway. I have already released the heavens in your favor. I have already moved resources. I have already aligned encounters. I have already released healing. I have already prepared reconciliations. I have already opened doors. Now it is only the time to see in the natural what has already been decreed in the spiritual. I am your God, and I fulfill what I promise. And when you look back, you will understand that nothing was in vain. The tears that watered your journey will turn into fruits of honor. The painful waits will become testimonies of acceleration. The losses will turn into multiplication. Everything worked together so that you would arrive at this moment of favor and breakthrough. Lift up your head because the days of humiliation are behind you. Lift your eyes because I cause a new light to dawn upon you. Walk in peace because the heavens are open and your life is already marked by promises that no one will be able to revoke. I am the one who opens doors that no one shuts, and what I have prepared for you is irrevocable. I declare, your season of breakthroughs has begun, and nothing will be able to stop the flow of what I have already released over you. Do not look at human calendars, for I am the Lord of time, and time is in my hands. What seemed distant now draws near with speed. What seemed unattainable is already being set before you. Do not think anymore that you will have to wait long years to see the fulfillment of what I promised, because I myself hasten the work in your favor. What seemed to you a distant dream will be reality before your eyes, and what seemed beyond your reach will be placed in your hands through my faithfulness. I am the one who accelerates processes and turns waiting into testimonies of victory. Many told you it was too late, that there was no more time to achieve, that the doors were closed forever. But today, I declare that I am breaking human clocks and bringing my eternal count over your life. Do not worry about deadlines, because I am the owner of time and the one who decides when and how things happen. I'm advancing answers, shortening paths, and removing red tape that kept you from moving forward. Prepare yourself, because unexpected opportunities will come in the form of messages, invitations, meetings, and calls that will transform your story. It will not be coincidence, but divine direction. People you never imagined would cross your path will appear before you, bringing keys to open doors that were blocked. Situations that seemed stuck will begin to move again, because I myself am breathing life over areas that seemed dead. What before would take years to blossom will soon bear abundant fruit. Do not be alarmed when you see how quickly things will happen, because I myself am accelerating your harvest. There will be days when you will receive answers even before you finish the prayer, and there will be moments when what you sowed in tears will become immediate harvest. I'm multiplying time in your favor, turning months into weeks, weeks into days, and days into hours, because this is my time of visitation over you. Just as in the past I opened the sea in an instant and brought down walls with only a shout, so today I declare that I intervene in your life in a supernatural and sudden way. There will be no human explanation for what I am going to do, because it will be so swift and so extraordinary that all will know it was my hand that acted. The impossible will be overcome by the speed of my breath, and what seemed lost will be restored in record time. I know your human eyes still try to calculate how it will be possible, but I want you to understand, I do not work within the limitations of earthly logic. I do not depend on human timelines. I do not follow market rules. I am not bound by the agendas of this earth. I am the one who creates paths out of nothing, who raises answers from the dust, who calls into existence what does not exist. And that is how I will do with you. What seemed unlikely will become natural before you. The acceleration I prepared for your life is already in motion. Do not be surprised when you notice that people who were distant will come toward you bringing good news. Do not find it strange when you notice that doors that were previously blocked now open without effort. I am stirring hearts, moving papers, releasing decrees, arranging meetings that will change your trajectory. Everything that was dammed up begins to flow in an abundant and swift way. I am also accelerating your emotional and spiritual healing. Wounds that would take years to heal will be closed in a few moments before my presence. Traumas that kept you tied to the past will lose strength, and in a single moment of revelation, your mind will be set free. I pour balm over the deepest pains and turn bitter memories into testimonies of victory. What seemed to be a prison will become proof of my faithfulness, and your life will become a reference of transformation. I also accelerate your gifts and talents, activating areas that were dormant. What seemed small in you will quickly blossom. Ideas will come suddenly, inspirations will arise at unexpected moments, and professional and ministerial doors will open before you with ease. I place strategic people on your path, connecting you with mentors, partners, and friends who will accelerate the fulfillment of your purpose. You will not walk alone, because I myself will send those who will carry with you the vision I placed in your heart. My beloved child, do not fear the speed with which everything will happen, because every detail was already written in my book. I only waited for the right moment to release it, and now the time has come. The heavens are aligned with you, and your life has entered a season in which harvests will be accelerated, opportunities multiplied, and miracles manifested in sequence. I am the Lord who fulfills what He promises, and when I decide to act, nothing can delay my plan. And when you see everything being fulfilled so quickly, your heart will be filled with gratitude. You will remember the tears you cried while waiting, the nights when you believed it was too late, and you will understand that I was only preparing the stage so that, at the right moment, my glory would be manifested with power. The acceleration you will live will not be only for your joy, but will be a testimony to many who will see in you the reflection of my faithfulness. Therefore, rise without fear. Walk with confidence, because the time of waiting has ended and the time of acceleration has begun. I have already placed in your hands what seemed distant, and I myself go before you, opening the way. What was delay before becomes advance, and what was set back before becomes acceleration. Rest in my time, because I am the Lord of time, and today I decide to hasten the promises over your life. It is not enough to listen. It is time to act. I have given you clear instructions because I know that your victory depends on your response to what I am releasing now. Therefore, declare aloud, without fear and without hesitation, I am chosen by God for a supernatural breakthrough. These words are not merely phrases, they are spiritual keys that unlock invisible doors. When your mouth prophesies what I have already determined, the heavens move in your favor, and the walls the enemy raised begin to fall. Every declaration that comes from your mouth in agreement with my will activates in the natural world what has already been released in the spiritual realm. I also ask you to look around and examine the space in which you have been living. Clean your house, your heart, your mind, and even what you consume. Remove from around you everything that contaminates your faith, everything that draws you away from my presence and feeds doubt within you. Do not allow negative voices, toxic influences, or habits that weaken your confidence to remain near you. I am holy, and I call you to live in holiness. And when you set apart your space for me, I fill it with my glory. The cleansing I ask of you is not symbolic. It is practical and necessary so that nothing hinders the flow of what I'm about to pour out. Understand, my beloved child, that these instructions are keys. If I tell you to declare, it is because your mouth has power to create. If I tell you to cleanse, it is because your life needs to be prepared to receive. And if I tell you to share, it is because what you sow in others returns to you multiplied. I move the heavens in response to obedience, and your posture before my voice defines the measure of what you will reap. You are not hearing merely a word of comfort, but a summons to act in faith. Share this word with those who also need to be awakened. When you divide what you receive, you show that you trust me as an inexhaustible source. I do not delight in hearts that withhold, but in those that distribute, because by sharing, you make room to receive more. Write the names of people I am placing in your mind now, and take this message to them. Every life that is reached through your obedience will be a testimony. and each testimony will produce fruit that will return to you multiplied. You are not merely sharing words, you are activating destinies. Do not underestimate the urgency of what I speak to you. There are spiritual windows that open for a set time, and this is one of those moments. When I instruct you to act within 24 hours, it is because this is the period in which the heavens are in accelerated motion on your behalf. If you obey, you will see results that will surprise even those who doubted you. But if you neglect it, the enemy will try to steal what is already prepared. I do not want you to lose anything. Therefore, I speak to you with clarity and insistence. Act now. I know that many have already heard promises and waited without seeing anything. But I want you to understand the difference. When I speak and you respond, there is no barrier that can resist. Your part is to obey. My part is to fulfill. I am not a man to lie, nor a son of man to regret. I do not place empty instructions upon you, but directions that carry power. Every step you take in obedience will be accompanied by a move of my spirit. Perhaps you think your actions are too small to change anything, but look at the seed. A seed seems insignificant until it is planted, but when it finds the soil and the right time, it becomes a tree that gives shade, fruit, and shelter. So it is with your obedience. When you choose to obey, even in things that seem simple, you are sowing seeds that will transform your life into a testimony of abundance. I also tell you, do not allow fear or unbelief to steal your response. The enemy will try to whisper that it is no use to declare, that it is not worth cleansing, that it makes no difference to share. But those whispers are strategies to paralyze you. Reject those voices and listen only to my voice. I am your God, and I know what I am preparing. If I ask you for faith in action, it is because I have already determined a glorious destiny for you. My child, these instructions are not empty rituals, they are eternal principles. When you declare, you open your mouth as a channel of my word. When you cleanse your space, you prepare fertile ground for my presence. When you share, you become a multiplier of what you receive. And when you obey, the heavens open and my blessing is poured out in full. I've already released resources, connections, and healings over you. But your obedience is the key that turns the lock and unlocks what has already been released in your favor. Therefore, do not postpone what needs to be done now. Lift up your voice and prophesy over yourself. Remove from your environment everything that displeases me and weakens your faith. Write, share, sow this word into lives that need it. Do this with urgency, and you will see in a short time the difference between only hearing and acting. This is the time of activation, and you were called to live not only by promises, but by fulfillment. I tell you, with love and authority, if you obey, in a short time you will witness extraordinary results. You will see healings, answers, reconciliations, opportunities and provisions happening in a supernatural way. I will be glorified in your life, and all will see that your obedience was the bridge that connected your faith to my promises. Walk in obedience, for this is the key to unlock what I have already released in your favor. Do not delay what must be done now, because I have opened before you a spiritual window that will not remain open forever. This is the time for your response, the moment when your obedience becomes the key for what I released in heaven to be manifested on earth. If you neglect it, the opportunity may be transferred to another, but if you obey, you will see miracles flow in a matter of hours and days. Many have already experienced this, for they decided to act at the hour they heard my voice, and soon afterward witnessed healings, unexpected provisions, and open doors they never would have reached by their own efforts. So it will be with you as well, if you keep in your heart the urgency of what I am saying to you now. I warn you with love, but also with firmness. Do not play with this moment. The enemy knows what is about to happen with you and will do everything to distract you, steal your focus, and delay your response. He will try to use weariness, doubt, worries, and even nearby voices to convince you that there is no hurry, that you can wait. But I tell you, every second matters, every step in obedience opens a way, and every decision in faith activates a harvest. Keep your eyes fixed on me, because your destiny is being aligned at this instant. I know your struggles, and I know the thoughts that try to weaken your faith. How many times did you believe it was too late, that your time had passed, that it was not worth trying again? But today I declare that the lost time is being restored, and that which seemed dead will rise before your eyes. However, this promise requires your immediate response, for it is not enough to hear and keep. It is necessary to act while the door is open. If you obey, I will quickly transform areas that have been bound for years. A situation that seemed unsolvable will change in a few days. A diagnosis that tormented you will be reversed in a matter of hours. A debt that seemed impossible to be paid will have a supernatural solution. I'm a specialist in accelerating processes and showing that nothing is impossible for me. But I want your surrender. I want your trust. I want your action now. Beloved child, I'm not asking you for something heavy or impossible. I'm asking only that you believe and obey. I give you simple instructions, but they carry eternal power. If you neglect them, you will remain trapped in the cycle of waiting and frustration. But if you give me your yes, you will see how obedience opens rivers in deserts and turns dark valleys into paths of light. I am not calling you to wait longer. I am calling you to live today, the beginning of what I have prepared for you. Perceive what is happening. There is an invisible movement in your favor. My angels are already in position, holding deliverances and bringing provisions. The spiritual gears are turning, aligning people, places, and opportunities. But all of this depends on your response, because I will never force your will. I offer you the way, I give you the keys, but you are the one who needs to open the door and enter. Look around you and notice how many have become distracted and lost moments like this. How many heard my voice but preferred to wait and then wept because they let pass the chance I had given them. I do not want this to happen to you, therefore I speak with such clarity and urgency. This is the moment to break through. This is the time to act. This is the hour to obey. If you decide now, you will see miracles so swift that you will scarcely believe what your eyes are beholding. You will hear testimonies springing from your own mouth, for you will tell how in a few days everything changed, how in a few hours something that seemed impossible happened. And all around you will see that it was I who acted, and my name will be glorified through you. But if you hesitate, the enemy will try to steal what is already prepared. He cannot prevent me from releasing it, but he can distract you so that you do not receive it. He knows that your destiny is about to change. He knows that your story will enter a new season. He knows that what was stuck will begin to flow. That is why he fights so hard against your mind, because he fears what will come when you obey. Do not yield to these distractions. Do not allow yourself to be trapped by lies. Do not allow fear to paralyze you. I am your God, and I am speaking to you now, because I love you too much to allow you to lose this opportunity. I know you, and I know exactly what you are facing. I know the pain you carry in silence. I know the prayers you have made in tears. I know the promises that seemed forgotten. I have not forgotten anything. I'm only waiting for your response, because when you say yes to my voice, everything around you begins to align. Do not look back in fear of repeating past mistakes. Do not compare yourself with those who did not believe. Do not allow your mind to question what your spirit already knows. Only believe and act. This is the moment that will transform your life. This is the turning point that will mark your story. This is the call that will open the season of miracles. Therefore, listen well, stay focused, Do not scatter. Do not leave for tomorrow what you must do now. Do not ignore the call of my voice. I'm already releasing miracles. I'm already sending answers. I'm already breathing new opportunities. Only obey, and you will see your life become a living testimony of my faithfulness. Your destiny changes from this moment on, and no one will be able to stop what I have already begun in you. I breathe peace over your mind at this moment, and this peace does not come from the world, but proceeds directly from my throne. It enters every area of your soul where there was confusion, anxiety, and fear. I breathe over your thoughts, bringing clarity and serenity. I renew your strength like the eagle that rises to the heavens, without growing weary, without fainting, because my hand is upon you. I place a wall of fire around your family, and no one will be able to cross that encirclement, because I myself am your shield and your fortress. I take care of your health, and I do not allow sickness to dictate your destiny. I take care of your house, and I declare that no evil will enter your doors. I take care of your finances, and I bring provision where there seemed to be no way out. I take care of your relationships, and I restore what was broken. I bring harmony where there was disunity, and I create new connections that will be instruments of advancement in your life. Nothing escapes my attention, because every detail of you is engraved before me. No evil will touch you, because my mighty hand rests upon you. I myself am removing traps that the enemy prepared in secret. I am undoing snares, nullifying plans of destruction, and turning curses into blessings. At every step you take, my presence goes before you, and behind you I encircle, so that nothing reaches you. Where there is danger, I send deliverance. Where there is attack, I place protection. Where there is threat, I raise a banner of victory. This is the beginning of a new season. Do not be alarmed when you notice quick changes around you, because I am transitioning your life from a time of waiting to a time of fulfillment. You will feel my grace opening paths that were closed, and you will see opportunities arise in unlikely places. I have already determined that every step you take will be accompanied by my favor, and even what seemed like loss will be turned into multiplication. Walk knowing that heaven is with you in every detail. There is no decision of yours that goes unnoticed. I inspire your thoughts, illuminate your steps, correct your paths, and direct your dreams. What once seemed a burden will now become light, because I carry with you what you cannot bear. I am your constant help, your peace in the midst of the storm, your voice in the silence of the night. I breathe hope into your soul, hope that renews, hope that strengthens, hope that points forward. You will no longer live on memories of defeats, but on testimonies of victories. I am transforming your story into a book of overcoming, where every chapter will show that my faithfulness sustained you. What seemed like an end becomes a new beginning, and what seemed like loss becomes a platform for a new conquest. My blessing rests on your life in an integral way. I do not bless only one area, I bless them all. I bless your mind with wisdom, your heart with peace, your hands with prosperity, your feet with direction. I bless your family with unity, your projects with advancement, your dreams with fulfillment. Nothing will be partial, because I am a God of fullness, and when I bless in abundance. I have also released rest over you. You will no longer walk in constant agitation, but you will learn to rest in me, because I already have control of everything. Trust, because while you rest, I work. While you sleep, I watch. While you pray, I answer. While you wait, I move. There is no room for fear when you trust in my sovereignty. I declare security over you. You will no longer live in fear of what will come, because your future is already in my hands. I wrote your story with love, and no human or spiritual power can rewrite what I have already determined. Your life is guarded, your purpose is preserved, your destiny is guaranteed. What I prepared for you is greater than any opposition that may arise. And as I walk with you, I also pour joy over your soul, joy that does not depend on circumstances, joy that is born from the certainty that I am with you. This joy will be your strength on difficult days. It will be the flame that keeps you firm when contrary winds blow. I am restoring the brightness in your eyes. I am giving lightness back to your heart. I am filling you with new songs. Receive today the seal of my blessing. Receive protection, receive provision, receive healing, receive peace, receive strength, receive favor. I surround your life with my presence, and nothing will be able to resist what I have already released. Walk with confidence, because you are not only accompanied, you are led. I do not only guard you, I guide you. I do not only protect you, I lift you up. And when you look around you, you will see that you are not alone. You will see that every detail of your life is marked by my hand. You will see that my presence will be so real that your days will begin with hope and end with gratitude. I am your God, and today I declare, you are blessed, surrounded, and protected. Live in this certainty, because heaven has already decided in your favor, and nothing can change what is already established. Now rise with confidence and declare with all your strength, I am chosen, I am blessed, I am victorious. And these words are not merely an echo in your mouth, but a decree that resounds in heaven and on earth. They seal the work I have already begun in you and mark this time as the beginning of a new season in which nothing can nullify what I have already determined about you. This is the time of your advance, the moment I raise you to walk in paths that were once denied to you. This is the marker of your victory, and no one will be able to steal what is written about you in my eternal books. I declare before all principalities and powers, no conspiracy will be able to stop what has already been decreed. Every plot against your life falls to the ground now. No contrary word will hold authority over my voice, because my word is sovereign. The accusations that tried to wound you have lost their power, and the bonds that tried to imprison you have been broken. The delay has ended, the waiting has come to an end, and what I have prepared for you begins to manifest before your eyes. Today I place upon you the seal of victory. This seal is invisible to human eyes, but in the spiritual realm it is like a banner that declares that you belong to me, that you are kept and protected, that you have been set apart to carry my glory. Wherever you set your feet, you will see my favor manifesting. Wherever you set your hands, you will see fruit springing forth. Wherever you lift your voice in prayer, you will see answers descending quickly. I break every sense of failure that the enemy tried to plant in your mind. I uproot every insecurity that made you believe you were not enough. I restore your identity before me so that you may walk as a beloved child, heir of the promise, participant in my victory. You are no longer a slave to fear, nor a hostage of the past, nor a prisoner of old guilt. You are free, because the victory I won has already been given to you. This is the day on which I bring an end to the cycle of humiliation and open the cycle of honor. What was once used to mock you will now be used as proof of my faithfulness. Those who disbelieved will see with their own eyes what I am doing in your life. Those who abandoned you will acknowledge that my hand never left you. I did not give you only a promise. I gave you an inheritance, and that inheritance is victory in every area of your life. I have already decreed victory over your house, victory over your health, victory over your finances, victory over your dreams. I have already marked your life with advance, and no one will be able to revoke it. Even if storms arise, you will remain firm. Even if enemies rise up, you will not be struck. I cover you with my protection, and I declare that nothing will be able to steal what I have given you. Walk now as one who carries an invisible crown, not of human pride, but of spiritual authority. You have been marked to carry eternal glory. Wherever you go, my light will accompany you. Your presence will carry my fragrance, and your life will be a testimony of what only I could do. You will not be remembered only for having won, but for having remained faithful until the victory was made manifest. I remove the weight that kept you from advancing and place upon you the mantle of lightness, so that you may walk with firm and decisive steps. You will no longer look back with pain, but with gratitude. You will no longer look to the future with fear, but with hope. I set before you open doors and I say, enter, because this is the time to live the fulfillment of my promises. And when your eyes behold what I have prepared, you will know that it was not luck, it was not chance, it was not human merit, but my hand acting in your favor. You will lift your hands and acknowledge that I am the God who fulfills what he promises. And many will hear your testimony and turn to me, because they will see that the one who trusts in the Lord will never be put to shame. I breathe upon you today a spirit of boldness. Lift your head, raise your voice, walk with confidence. You are no longer the same, because my anointing rests upon you. Live with the certainty that your life will not end in defeat, but in victory. Live knowing that heaven has already decreed your story as a story of conquest. Live with your heart full of faith, because I am with you and I have already given you the victory. Go and live as one who has been marked to carry my glory. Live as one who knows that you do not walk alone, but accompanied by eternal favor. Live as one who understands that every breath is proof of my grace. Go and manifest the victory that is already sealed upon you. For I, the Lord, speak to you today. The delay has ended, the waiting is over, and what I have prepared for you manifests now.